I've been gone this afternoon and I just wanted to come out here and look at my new stuff. This is my quick pick cowpeas. They're just like a small type of little black-eyed pea when they're ready. I just planted these on June 29th. Today is July 6th. It's Wednesday. And look at them. They're coming up and doing good. Let me walk down here and see if the other ones have started coming up yet. Not yet. I planted these later and I'm having trouble remembering exactly what day. I think it might have just been the 4th of July on Monday. So they're not coming up yet, but that's all right. Over here in my squash row, I planted those Sebring yellow squash. And they're coming up too. They're coming up. There's another one there coming up. They're looking good. We have finally started getting some rain. We don't get it every day. And sometimes it doesn't really last that long. It'll get really electrical and lightning. There's another one. But we're getting it, so I'm not complaining. It is what it is. There we go. Look at there. They look so good. That is a dark green zucchini coming up. I decided to go ahead and try to plant some of these alongside this okra. I felt like they could grow good together. Well, so far that one is the only one that I see. Unless I'm passing something up, but I don't think so. Oh, here we go. Here we go. 2. That makes 2 out of 20 something. But that's okay. Sometimes they'll pop up one here, one there for over the course of a week. They just pop up when they feel like it. I guess that's it. Right here, you see some beans coming up. All right there. And I kind of tucked them here, there, and yonder, all through these plants. Those are pidgeot peas, P-I-G-G-O-T-T. I just kind of put them randomly wherever the cucumbers weren't growing. I didn't have the packet marked. I think they're just a bush pea, but I could be wrong. So I put them here because I had this Hortonova netting behind it. If they need any help, then I can drape them. But I think they're a bush pea. I did not have them listed as a pole pea. It's not a really big deal. I have that Hortonova netting if I need it. I planted some African field. Oh, there's some. There they come. Right there. There they come. There's one. There's a wannabe there being shy. Hadn't poked out yet. There's one there. And I'm sure there's others just really close. These are called African field peas. And I love to just plant a little bit of odd things sometimes. I planted okra here, but it's not coming up. I always get excited when everything starts coming up. That's the best part about gardening, is when things germinate and they start coming up out of the ground. I love it. I never get tired of it. I love it. I should be able to see everything that I planted in the last few days come up and come to full fruition. I should be able to, but I'm not for certain about that. I think we need to talk. Well, everybody, it's not July 6th anymore. I'm sorry about that. It is July 9th. It is 3 days later. It has really taken me a while to be able to do this video. Just emotionally, I felt like I wanted to be in the right place to do this video before I did it. And then again, I realized this afternoon, I kind of just walked out here on the spur of the moment to do it because it just hit me that I don't know that there's ever going to be a great time to do a video like this.
I'll just cut right to it. I'm not one for clickbait. I'm not one to tease. I'm not one to drag you on through a bunch of stuff and just give you a little something at the end of the video. I'll just tell you right up front, we're moving. We're selling our house. We're selling Camp Joy Farms, and we're moving to another location. This has kind of been a long process mentally for me to arrive at this particular spot in our life. On the other hand, the whole process of actually doing it has happened very quickly, and it's kind of been a little roller coaster this week. A roller coaster I'm glad to be on and I'm happy about, but a roller coaster nonetheless. So let me just tell you the story. Let me tell you what's going on in my heart, in my mind, in my thought process, and I'll just kind of take you on the journey with us. And at the end, I'm just going to put a few questions out there, and I'll let y'all help me answer them. Okay, to start the story, I guess I need to start a little bit farther back. We lived in our previous house about 11 miles down the road in another community, a whole different parish. We don't have counties, we have parishes. It was in a whole different parish. And we lived there for 20-something years, 23, 24 years. We raised our two oldest children predominantly there. They were babies when we moved in, so that was the only home they really knew. And then our youngest son, well, he was there a good while. He was in middle school before we moved. So all three of them were there for a long, long time. But as I've said in the videos before, and I'm just going to briefly say this, we lost our oldest son in 2008. It was just a horrible time in our lives, but we lost him, and I had told myself, I will never leave this house because this is where he grew up. To me, it was sacred ground. To me, it was, I couldn't imagine losing that emotional connection I had with him, which was so connected to that house. And I'll be honest with you, just there was no question. We were going to stay in that house forever. We were happy there. I mean, it was okay. And it just, there wasn't any other thing we were talking about. We were going to stay there. And I was just going to have that emotional connection to Ricky in that home forever, as far as I was concerned. And that was the way it was for 6 years or so. And then one day, my husband and I walked outside to the back porch area of our house, and we had a pasture behind our house, a big, nice pasture. It wasn't ours, but it was a big, nice pasture that had always been there. And it was always kind of a buffer because we had always heard that the family that owned it just wanted to dove hunt and things on that pasture, and that it was all kind of tied up in different family, and that it would never be sold for a subdivision or anything. So we always had that peace that that pasture was going to stay empty. And on the other side of the pasture, opposite us on the other side of the pasture, the school board had actually bought that area and had built a brand new high school. So some of our peace was disrupted there for a while because they were building a school and a football stadium and all. And then boom, the football game started. And I grew up by a football stadium, by the actual high school that I grew up and went to. We lived near it. So hearing football games and hearing cheering crowds and all was not in any way weird to me. I grew up with that. But at this point in my life, with this home wanting to be my kind of sanctuary, it was already starting to bother me that we were constantly hearing a PA system across this pasture. And then the lights, the lights just lit up our whole area. And that was okay. I guess we had just kind of figured that was just going to be every now and then for a ball game, and it was okay. Well, then all of a sudden we saw these people in the pasture surveying and putting up stakes. And we called someone, did a little check-in, because I know a lot of people, and we found out what their long-term plan was to put a baseball field on that part of the property. I didn't realize that they had come in later and bought that pasture from the family. So we were looking at the potential of having a baseball field with practices every day and all right behind our house. Now, to be fair for anybody watching this, they eventually did not put the baseball stadium there. They eventually put it in another area, and they used the part they bought for parking for the football games. But so it wasn't a baseball field, but at the time we thought it was going to be. So, not to take this forever to tell this, but when we found that out, I looked at my husband. It was me initiating it. I just looked at him and said, let's go find some land out in the country and just build a little house and move. And he said, are you serious? You would leave here, And I said, yeah. I said, if they're going to have ball games all the time and we're going to be constantly hearing PA systems and everything, I said, I don't want to be here. I don't. And to me, it was just like my whole sanctuary was invaded, kind of. And so we did. We started looking. We started going riding, which we kind of enjoyed that process. We were just kind of dreaming. All the plans weren't settled in our mind as to what we would build or how much we would spend or anything. We didn't even know what our house would sell for, but we just started riding. And on Good Friday of 2014, we rode up on this land that we're on right now, and it looked terrible. We loved the lake, but the land was literally half sand, half rocks, no topsoil. It was terrible looking. It was just terrible. Next to us was a big, huge pile of clay. I mean, a mountain of clay. But we didn't know what to do with that. But we didn't have any equipment or anything. Anyway, so we ended up just buying the sandy, rocky part. And so we put a bid on it. We ended up getting it around the 1st of June, but we had found it on Good Friday. And at the time, we just kept saying, it almost seems like it's from God that we found it on Good Friday. And later on, as my life went on, I kind of put the thought together, and I'm not going to say God told me this. It's just in my mind and the peace it gave me. It was like Jesus conquered death on Good Friday. He died on Good Friday, but that was the whole process of death brings new life. He conquered death on Good Friday. And if he could do what all he did, I could not let death stop me from living the rest of my life and keep me in that home as if it was the only place I could be to be connected to my son. Anybody that's been through something is understanding what I'm saying. I'm not going to go into it, and I'm surely not going to sit here and try to justify all my feelings. I'm just telling you that was my feelings, is that it was okay to leave there, because that wasn't the end all and do all of the definition of my life as to what happened at my house. And I didn't have to stay there forever. That he's got this. So I decided it was time. We could leave. We could leave. So we found this. We stayed with our daughter in her home for 6-7 months while we were building this house. We built this house and we came home. I have a little sign I painted for my carport that said, "Glad to be home." And I still see that sign whenever we drive up, whenever we're under our carport, it's still hanging there. And this has been home. This has been home. And we've loved it. Our youngest son has grown up even more in this house. He finished junior high and went all through high school. And he's out of school now, but he still lives here with us. And this is where his friends come to see him. And it's home. It's been great. And we've loved it. And I think being able to drive up every day and just see that lake spread out before you, when you pull up on my carport, there it is. When you come in my front door and you're walking down my foyer, I designed the house specifically with big windows in my kitchen so that when you're coming down my foyer, you're seeing the lake and you're seeing the beautiful home across the lake that belongs to our neighbor. And then as you come into my kitchen, the other part of the window comes into view and you're seeing the rest of the lake, and it just refreshes you. I mean, I can come home and not be thinking about a whole lot, just, groceries on both arms. And when I walk into my kitchen, I say, wow, we live here. We live here. We do not live in a mansion. or anything of the sort. I just tried to take advantage of those beautiful views when I designed the house, and it worked because the lake just unfolds to you when you're walking into our home, and I love it. And it has rejuvenated us, being able to walk around down there, being able to just be working in my garden and hear fish jump in the water, turtles flopping around, just our neighbors fishing. It's just peaceful, and it's been wonderful. It has been wonderful, and it has been a great place for us to heal and to figure out how to move forward. Now, if you would have asked me a while back, I would have told you this was our forever home. I designed it. Every inch of that house. It's 2-story. I designed an upstairs bedroom for my youngest son so that he could have his own space up there, and it's got a nice bathroom and everything. It's big. It's bigger than our master bedroom. He has a ping pong table up there and everything. It's, I kind of designed it to where he could have friends come over and just have enough space. Everything in that house I designed, and I love it. It's just got my fingerprints all over it. I love it. The colors, the paint, everything. I've never really changed any paint colors since we moved in. I just love I love the house. It's just us. But it's time to go. It's time to go. Why, you might ask, and why now? What's my thought process? Well, this is my thought process. For anybody that hasn't watched my videos, I just have to say it again because there are people that end up watching your videos that haven't seen them before. But in January of 2021, my husband had a massive stroke. He survived, but it has left him severely disabled. He cannot work anymore. He functions somewhat. He can walk with a cane very slowly. He can feed himself with his left hand. He can move his left leg really easy. His right arm has never regained any movement. His right leg has gained enough to stabilize him while he's walking on his cane, but he can't do much with it. His speech has been severely impacted. Matter of fact, the last few days, this week has been tough. He can hardly say anything he needs to say without struggling. It does that sometimes, and then I don't know what, something clicks back into shape, and he kind of gets a little better at it. Right now, he's struggling, and it's making him really frustrated. And then mentally, when you have a stroke like this, and it's left you with severe global aphasia, mentally, he struggles because information goes in, or maybe not. I don't know how it works, but he just simply, he can hear you say something, but it doesn't go in as it needs to make him understand like a time. So-and-so is coming over at 12:30. When? 12:30. 11? No, 12:30, babe. They're coming at 12:30. When are they coming now? 12:30. You said 12:30? I said, yes, I said 12:30. That's right. You got it. That's right. Okay, what time did they say they're coming? He doesn't really, information does not click. And I'm going through this to make you understand that things have just changed. Things have changed. He can enjoy this property in that he can get it in his little side-by-side I bought him, and he can drive it around using his left arm and left foot. Once I put him on it, I have to get him off of it as well. He can't get in and out of it by himself. But he can drive it around and he can tootle. And that's really the only enjoyment he can have on his own around here. That's all he can really do anymore around here. He cannot mow. He cannot help in any way, shape, or form to help me with anything. My son still lives here, and he has been a blessing because he loves to mow, thank God. We have 14 acres, but some of it technically, according to surveys, is out in the pond. That's where property lines meet. So some of it's water. We have a big beach part that doesn't have to be mowed. And then we have road beds and stuff that don't have to be mowed. But there's still probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 acres that has to be mowed. I don't know how to measure that out. But Mark mows it. But he just turned 20. He's not going to be here forever. He's fixing to go to technical school to train in instrumentation or something like that. And he'll be moving on at some point. You know, he'll get married or he'll want to be out on his own at some point. So he won't be here forever. I can't expect him to always live his life coming over here to mow once a week. I just can't ask that of him. And so it's been in my mind, well, how long can you hang on to this property and deal with cleaning off banks of the lake and deal with road beds, because my son also grades our road when we need it graded. My husband used to do it, but now our son does it. And, you know, all that would fall on me to do. And that's the way it would have to be, and that's fine. And I'm still very able-bodied. There's nothing wrong with me. However, how much can I take on? How much can I take on? I'm already a full-time caregiver. I hate to use that phrase, but I'm a caregiver. I'm a wife with a husband with a stroke, and I have to help him with everything. And I mean everything. I have to bathe him. I have to help him with the bathroom. I have to help him with everything. That right there is enough. That's enough. But I love gardening and I love doing things like that. So I have my gardens. I have thoroughly enjoyed doing the YouTube videos, and I've tried to simplify my editing and things like that to make it where this doesn't occupy a huge amount of my time, but it's something that is taking up a little of my time because I love doing it. I just have wanted to proceed with doing it because it brings me a lot of joy, but it cuts into my time a little bit. If I also take on full maintenance of our property, I don't know how I'm going to do that. And also just mowing in general means you're on a lawnmower, working for a few hours doing that. That's anything that takes me hours and hours and hours to do is hard. In my garden, I've shown that. I've kind of shown a little bit how I'm always connected to my husband with a walkie-talkie. I have to drop everything. If he needs me, I have to drop everything and go check on him or go unload him from his little side-by-side, go help him in the house. So to also add hours and hours of sitting on a mower, weed eating, spraying Roundup, doing all that kind of stuff, I don't think I can do it. I just can't do it. Not on the scale of this property. Also, I'm just giving the whole story so you'll understand what I'm saying. Also, my husband's long-term disability will only go till he's 67. He's in his late 50s right now, but at 67, it stops. So right now it makes up about 2/5 of our income. The other 3/5 is Social Security disability. So we would lose 2/5 of our income in just a few years. And so you have to think about that because, okay, what's your life going to be like when I'm not as physically fit and able to do things now, and here in a few years when your income gets cut in half? Am I going to go out in my mid-60s and all of a sudden take on jobs and do things to supplement my income? You know, how does that work? I don't know. All these things run in your head. I know there are probably phone jobs I could get. I know there's probably customer service things you can do from your house. But they involve time and commitment, and they involve possibly having to hang up with that customer when you have to go help your husband. And I don't know how that would work. And I also have horrible internet where we live. I have horrible internet. I'm having to pay the Nomad internet service $149 a month for internet here, and it's the only internet I've ever been able to get work here at my house. So I'm paying it right now. I'm just paying it. I hate paying that, but it's the only thing I can use that'll allow me to download these videos to YouTube, and that'll allow us to have internet that's like on. We can't get DirecTV internet. We can't get Cox. We have no lines that run back here. Nothing's reliable. I've tried through AT&T, we've tried through Verizon, and nothing is reliable, and we end up canceling it. So I have the Nomad right now. This is not an endorsement of Nomad. I've had troubles with them. I've had to send back 2 different router boxes because the SIM cards go out in them. The first time it took almost a month to get my router back. The second time I just got mean with them, and I just said, look, I'm canceling you if it takes another month. I have a YouTube channel. I can't upload anything without internet. Y'all got to get faster than this. And I think whoever answered my email boxed the one up they had sitting on their desk and shot it out to me, because when I got it, it looked like it was a used box, and basically the router had bits of food and debris on it. So I'm pretty sure that I just got one boxed up and shipped to me real quick, but I got it and it's working. So that's what I have now. But all this being said is it's not just so easy to say, work from home, work from home, do a little something to work from home to make extra money. It's not that easy. And we still have a house note. We have a tractor note. That's all the debt we have, which is great. We don't have any car notes. We have no credit cards. But Richard's, I still have to keep him on his company insurance with Cobra. I just chose to do that with him. My son and I now have Obamacare policies, which are terrible. They're not, I don't even want to think about going to the doctor for any reason right now. Your deductibles are so high. If you want a low deductible, your premiums are too high. So it's just a terrible situation that a lot of people are in. You have insurance. Yes, you're able to say you have insurance if you walk in a doctor's office, but you're paying like crazy and your deductible is so high that you'll never meet it. Or if you do meet it, it's because something really bad happened and now you got to pay it. So then you need to pay $8,500. So it's just a mess. So that's where we're at right now. There's still a lot of outgoing expenses, because a lot of people think when you get on Social Security that you're automatically on Medicare and all too, and that's not true. You have to wait 2 years before you can get on Medicare after you qualify for Social Security. So right now he's still on his Cobra insurance. All this being said, to basically sum it up and say, anything extra we do, any extra shopping trips we want to go on, any type of we don't go on vacations, but just say we wanted to go one night somewhere. We did take Richard one night a while back to Meridian, Mississippi, which is where he's originally from, and we let him, he wanted to go see his papa and mama's graves and just kind of see the area. So we drove up there. My sister and brother-in-law went with us, and we took him up there just for one night. But just anything like that you do like that, it's just coming out of savings. So I've just been having to take a lot of money out of savings to just do extra things. And I don't want to live that way forever. I don't want to always be on a tight budget just because I can't bear to let go of our home. I want to be able to do nothing extravagant. I'm just saying, if you want to go eat, go eat. If you need gas in your car, even when it's $4.59 a gallon, be able to get the gas. I want to not even have to think about going to get my grandkids a present or things like that. The simple things in life could be available to us if I just let go of this place. And we could be debt-free. We got a good price on our land. We built for a good price. We've expanded a couple of acres around us by buying some land around us. So now we have a really good piece of property. We have the metal shed that we park our tractor in. That was, we built that. We have a lot to offer where we're at now. And this part of our community is growing. It's starting to expand and grow. People are starting to move out this way into the country because of all that's going on. They're looking for space. They're looking for places that aren't so restricted that they can put animals and things. So they're moving out this way. And our house has a lot to offer someone that wants to come out this way to kind of have some breathing room. And so we've decided to put it on the market. Now, we went riding. We decided to put it on the market about a month and a half ago, but we started going riding a lot. It was so hot. I can't garden in the middle of the day anyway. So we would get in the car and we would go riding just about every day. And we kept looking for land and Googling stuff and Zillow and all this kind of stuff. And just talking to people. But we found things, but everything had to be cleared. Driveways had to be put in, culverts, utilities had to be brought out there. I cannot take all that on. I cannot, that was the kind of things my husband would always handle. I could not really even comprehend overseeing people coming out to clear wooded property and make us a home site out of wooded property and all right now. I think it's beautiful. I think when people do it, it's fine. I just can't comprehend me doing that right now with everything I have on my plate. We needed somewhere that was a little more ready to go, but the places that were a little more ready to go were sky high. So we just kind of give it to God. We just say, if there's a place out there that you want us to have, just help us to at least be open to you leading us there. And that's exactly what happened. We got bored on the 4th of July, which was just this past Monday, and we went riding. And we were going to go one direction, but I had forgotten to get gas at the gas station near our home. So when we got into the town about 20 miles away, I said, let me go this way because I need to go to the gas station that's on that road that goes to the interstate. And as we were going, got about a mile from the gas station, and we saw for sale sign on this piece of property that we had actually seen before. Where I had noticed it when it was sitting there. I just never, it wasn't for sale. I just remember seeing that piece of property as we were out riding a couple of times. But here it was today with for sale signs on it. So we were like, what? So we got on the internet and I looked up the real estate company because it wasn't on Zillow or anything. I looked up the real estate company and I was able to find it through their website. It had just been listed on June 30th, and this was Monday, July 4th. So it had just been listed. I don't know why it wasn't on MLS yet or anything, but I didn't want to bother the realtor on the 4th of July evening. So we called her the next morning and we got a lot more information. And we did ride to the property. We walked it, or I walked it, and we looked around and we just loved it. We loved it. And the price was good and we loved it. It has water. It has a septic system on it already that looks pretty nice. It had poles with DirecTV satellites on them already. It had a little pavilion area that looks like something like at a state park, a nice pavilion you could sit under that was to the side. It had previously had a double wide mobile home there, so it has concrete strips to where they leveled out the mobile home on it, so it had some sturdy foundation if we were to bring in a mobile home or something. It had just pear trees. It had beautiful Natchez crepe myrtles. My friend told me what kind they were. It has another little storage area that we could park our tractor under, or our side-by-side, or what have you. We don't really need the tractor for this property is the thing. We might go ahead and keep it just to do a little cleanup, but then after that, we're probably gonna sell our tractor and not have that dead either. And it just felt like we were coming home. I mean, I just told my husband, I said, this isn't gonna last. This property, when their business opens tomorrow on July 5th, I said, they're gonna get calls about this. I said, it's not gonna stay on the market. So we called the girl. It's about 1 o'clock the next day, and she already had written 2 offers on the property. So our offer would be the 3rd. So she had decided to hold offers until 5 o'clock on Wednesday, July 6th. And she ended up calling us about 1 o'clock on July 6th and said the lady decided to go ahead and do it. She took y'all's offer. So in 2 days, just Wednesday, just a few days ago, we bought land. And well, we got the offer accepted. We're supposed to close in a couple of weeks. And we're excited. We're happy. He and I are at one on loving the place. Neither one of us was having any doubts. We're happy we bought it. We took our friends, Mela and Ray. I did the video where I toured the gardens at Mela's house. They went up there with us yesterday. She walked me around and just told me what each plant was I have growing there. They're established plants, and pears and Japanese magnolias, and I have a hydrangea. I have some St. Joseph lilies on the place, all kind of things. And they loved it, and I'm so happy, and it helped me so much to have somebody that appreciates property and plants and everything to come up there and say, you got a good place. Today we took our son and our daughter and 3 grandkids up there, and they loved it. My daughter is a little farther for them to drive, you know, from where they moved back to now, but it's okay, it's gonna be all right. And the grandkids seem to love it, and so I know that as they grow and come up there and see us, and I think it'll be happy. And we always had this lake to look out on, and we always appreciated it. And it wasn't until Mela and them were here yesterday, because I just never saw it. I didn't realize that behind us, the back of our property is fenced, and then it kind of goes downhill towards some pasture land that's back there. And I had looked at the pasture land, but I didn't realize that down the hill there's a big pond, and we can see it from our property. It was just, I just didn't see it. If we build a really nice porch on the back of our mobile home, and we're sitting on that porch and we look down, we'll just have an even better view of that pond and all down there. And we met the owner of that property, and he said our son could go fish there if he wanted to, and our son's going to kind of help keep a little park mowed that right by us, and we can have use of that too, he said. And so it's just kind of working out. We enjoyed it yesterday when we took Mel and them there. We enjoyed it today when we took our daughter and them. It just feels like home. What we're going to do is, I'm researching well-built mobile homes. We went the other night and just started looking. I've talked to a couple of people and trying to get some prices right now. And we're probably just going to find a really well-manufactured, hope that's not an oxymoron, but a well-manufactured mobile home, put on the property, build a nice front porch with ramps to the parking area for my husband, because he's going to need ramps to get into the mobile home, and then build a really nice porch with covered awnings on the front and back to expand the living area. And we're just going to start fixing up the property, and I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be great. And there's better soil up there than what I have here. So I won't have huge gardens. Oh, it is 2 acres. I don't know if I mentioned that. It is 2 full acres. It's almost a square, so it's a nice piece of property. I won't have the big, huge gardens like I had here, because I don't want to put on too much on myself right now. I want to get the property looking good first. Just put my touches on it. Take those old plants that have been there and been established, but I want to prune them up, and I want to just put my little touches on the place and make that our home. So that's what we're doing. But we have to sell this house. And so you know how in a couple of videos ago, I spent a whole week, I called it Reclaiming the Hill, fixing my upper garden up. And I spent a whole week just weeding and trimming and pulling out things and anything I had to do to get that upper garden in better shape. Well, got it done. I got it done. But now I'm doing the same thing in my house. My house was not junky. I'm not a hoarder. I love a clean house, you know, and everything. But it's one thing to clean your house. It's one thing to know you're having company come over and you straighten everything up. It's a whole nother ball game when strangers are going to be coming to your house, opening your closets, looking everywhere, and going in your attic and making a decision on whether to buy your home or not. That's a whole nother ball game. And I am not the kind of person that can just do nothing and list their house and just say, well, if they want it, they're going to buy it. If they're not, they're not. I can't do that. That is not who I am. I'm going to get that house looking good. I'm going to get it HGTV ready. But, and I'm saying but, I'm going to do it fast. When we first started talking about moving, we had no land. We had not purchased anything yet. So it was all a big unknown. So I had told my husband, just give me a few months and I'll pull everything together. Well, now that we have land, now that we know that we possibly could even be living there sometimes by the fall, before Christmas and everything, I need to get this house on the market. I need to get it on the market quick. So I've set myself a goal of August 1st. Right now I'm doing the interior of the house. I've done my master bathroom, top to bottom, sealing the floor, scrubbed the baseboards with a toothbrush, did everything. I cleaned out both of our closets, his and mine, pulled out things. I've donated items of clothes and just got everything straight. When you walk in my bathroom now and you open our closets, it's fine. Everything is organized. It's great. Then I did my bedroom, and when I say things, I'm talking about cleaning your walls, cleaning all the baseboards, making sure you don't have any spider webs up in the corner, dusting everything, mopping. It takes longer than you think. You get up there on a stool and clean your light fixtures, so it takes a little bit. But I got that done, and then I did my guest bedroom a couple of nights ago, cleaned out that closet, donated a bunch of books and things, went through a big stack of paperwork that I had just let really stack up through this last year and a half with medical things and everything. I went through all that, got that all organized, that which made me feel better whether I'm moving or not. That made me feel good to get that taken care of. And so then dusted, cleaned the walls, vacuumed, got my guest bedroom done, check. Then Mela and Ray came yesterday, and Mela and Ray helped me, and we got my foyer walls all cleaned, all my doors wiped down, mirror cleaned. I have a little piece of furniture in there we got dusted. We went into the hall bathroom and did it top to bottom, scrubbed, and check, done. So that felt so good. And even though it was two of us working, and then Ray was doing some things with me to fix towel holders that needed repair, even with all that going on, it still took us a couple of hours, you know, so it takes a while to really thoroughly clean your house. So now I'm starting tonight on my kitchen area. Tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going upstairs to my son's room. I've already told him, get a garbage bag, just any kind of junk, any kind of clothes you can bring down, let's do it. Mom's going up there, and I'm cleaning it from top to bottom. It's probably going to take me all day tomorrow. I'm not going to lie to you. So once that's done, I'll just kind of have to spruce up my den, and my house is done. Well, I have to do a little bit in my washroom. I did reorganize my pantry the other day, so that's done. Then I'm going outside after that. So next week I'll be going outside. I'm going to try to get flower beds straightened up. I'm going to get Richard's garden and my garden turned over and disced under, and just leave that for if they want to put gardens there, they can. The upper garden looks pretty good still. I'm going to keep it looking good until we sell the house. But there's just a lot of things I need to do to sell some things out of our shed, to put some things on the market, Facebook Marketplace, my daughter and them are going to help me with, to get rid of some of the items out of our shed. Anything we don't think we want to take with us to our new property is going to be gone. And I need to clean my tractor, get my oil and filter changed in it, because it's just time. I need to not use it much anymore until I get all that done, because it's just time. And I don't know how to do it, so nothing's easy when you don't know how to do something, so I'm gonna have to research that or get somebody to come over and show me. But in the meantime, my son will keep the yard mowed and everything. So in the next week, hopefully the realtor can come and start giving us some feedback on what she thinks the house is worth. We can knock some of those details down, and hopefully by August 1st I can tell her, let's go, let's rock and roll, let's put the signs up, put it on MLS, and let's do it. I have all the confidence in the world that the right person will come along to buy this place. I don't think I tied this together a while ago, but to me, things just mean something. We found this property on Good Friday. I was able to conquer those thoughts that I had, that I told you about death, and move here. We're leaving this place now, but we found our new property on the 4th of July. And to me, that symbolizes freedom. We're going to have freedom. We're hopefully going to be able to be debt-free with no bills, no bank owning any part of us. And I just feel it's all from God. I feel like He's telling us now's a good time. And I'll be honest with you, I've kind of hesitated because I love Danny and Wanda at Deep South Homestead. I love them, and I hang on their every word with most everything they say. But Danny has pretty much said, and I know what he's saying and I agree with him, he's pretty much said now is not a good time to be selling your house and moving. If you haven't got you a new homestead established by now, you might want to stay where you are and ride it out, because it's going to be too hard to start a new homestead in these coming couple of years. You might not be able to get the parts you need, the supplies you need, the stuff for your garden, the container, you know, and I get it. And he's right. But we gone. I don't know. God told me, be free. Be free. I do not want a bank. If they're going to have issues, coming, let them be their issues in the banking system. I don't want them owning me anymore. And I want to have no bank note. I know that you always will have a property tax bill or something like that that is attached to your home. We don't ever truly, freely own our property here in the United States of America, and that is wrong. That is wrong. That is a way that keeps us enslaved, and it is wrong. I know that that exists. However, I'll deal with that however you deal with that, voting the right people in and out. But if I can get to the point where we do not have a bank that we owe our home to, I will feel better. When Richard's disability cuts off in a few years, it won't sting as much, because in these years in between that, between now and when it cuts off, I can be doing something better with our money than paying a house note, and trying to put that into the systems and into the infrastructure that will make our new place even more secure for me if something should happen to him, or more secure for both of us in our older years. The least money you have to put out to debt and to people like banks, credit card people, anything like that, the more free you are. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. So that's my thoughts. That's where I'm coming from. I hope you'll be happy for us. The questions I guess I was throwing out to you at the end of this video, if you're still here for all this long story, is my first thought was, I'm just gonna have to give up my YouTube channel, because this is Camp Joy Farms. The name Camp Joy Farms reflects where I live now. It reflects this property. I don't know if that's going to transfer to my new property. It may not even feel right to call it Camp Joy Farms. I don't have a big channel. I have a small channel, but any type of rebranding of it might not go good. I'm not scared or anything. I'm just saying, I don't know. I might end up either not doing this or changing my name. But as the days have went by, because I haven't really made a video in a week or so, as the days have went by, I find myself missing doing things like this. I need that connection, I guess, of the community that I've kind of gotten to know doing these videos. It's not personal, because we don't see each other, personally talk, but I do enjoy the interaction between some of the accounts that follow me, or whose accounts I follow, and the comments and the support. I do enjoy that, and I need that. I need that in my life, because my life is not full of people coming and going like it used to be. We live a pretty quiet life now, and I do kind of enjoy the interaction. So my questions, I guess, is, should I keep going with these videos? Do you enjoy the videos? Will you be watching them if I'm on a smaller property with a smaller scale garden? There'll be days I might just be tootling around doing next to nothing, just looking at, trying to get to know what's already there. Would that be interesting to you? Would it be interesting if you just heard more thoughts about my life versus always talking about gardening or what I've got going on. There may be no tractor in the picture anymore to do a lot of the work for me. So I really will scale back, I think. I don't own a tiller. I may get one at some point to kind of help me bust up soil. But I guess what I'm saying is, do you want me? Do you want me to continue talking and visiting and just being who I am? I think with these channels, it's important to just be who you are. And this is me. I don't get a whole lot more exciting than this. My life is just pretty much normal, and I like that. I take that as a compliment. My best friend, God bless her, she is in a nursing home right now, in about her 8th or 9th year of having frontotemporal dementia. It is something I never saw coming. I have learned in my span of my life that there's a lot of things you just don't see coming. So you need to enjoy the time you do have. But Debbie used to say, you and Richard are two of the most normal people in my life. She's like, everybody seems to have chaos going, and you and Richard are two of the most normal people in my life. Y'all are just normal. And I would always think, well, that sounds boring. That, all our other friends are doing things and we're normal. And to me, that meant boring. To Debbie, it meant peace and safety. It meant love. And if my channel's normal, that's okay with me. I will take that. I will take the peace. I hope I convey the love. And if it's just normal, it's just normal. So I'm just going to stay busy getting my house ready. I'll let y'all answer the questions out there. I'll see what kind of comments I get or don't get. And we'll just I'll figure out this channel as I go along. But I'm going to just get busy getting my house ready, because the words of Donald Trump, long before he was president, when he was just a dude that was rich in New York City, he said in one of his books or one of his interviews that the definition of a loser is someone who would put their car out on the road for sale without even bothering to wash it. Well, I don't have a car to put up for sale, but I do have a house to put up for sale. And those words are ringing in my ear, because if I don't put in the elbow grease to get it looking good, to get it as clean as it can be, to get it as ready to sell as it can be, Donald Trump might think I'm a loser. And I do not want to be a loser. Not to him, not to anybody. I want to be a winner, and I want to get this thing sold, because we have a new address. We have a new address up the road. It's just about 20 miles from here, but it's calling us home, and we're ready to go. We're ready to go. This is Lainey at Camp Joy Farms. I hope you're enjoying my video. Talk to me, give me comments, and let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.